All right. Hello and welcome to the Stock Operator channel. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're going to go over the events in the market with what's going on and, yeah, the impact. If that's something you're into, stick around. All right. So let's take a look. Ooh, yeah. Last 2 days, market's down 12% in 2 days. If you have a long-term portfolio, you're feeling it. Yeah, I think the channel portfolio is down like 11% year to date now, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it works. It's gonna bounce, um, long term, of course. But let's take a look. It's hitting all of our targets. This is the QQQ. Let's take a look at the SPY. Yeah, it hit the second target here. I mean, this is the lowest I think it can go, and I'm just basing it off of distance away from the yearly moving average. So if we take a look, and we go long term, uh, you know, this is kind of, I mean, it got really low really quick, so we're kind of in a crash mode. So it could keep going. Something like a COVID crash, we're gonna have to see. So it could go way lower. But it's good to have these targets in place just to see where we're at. So basically, like where we're at today is about within, let's say, 5% of the absolute low of a year-long bear market, at least in 2022. So if we're thinking that it's going to be worse, or if it's going to start a secular bear market, which actually I think it could happen. I'm just looking at the IWM here, with this massive structure, kind of double top sort of a thing, and it basically took away all the gains from the last few years in 5 days. So this is some serious selling that you have to kind of question what's going on. Yeah, and also if you look into some income instruments, there's some serious selling going on, like credit event sort of stuff. All of these high yield. This is a pretty significant declines. So we'll have to see. But let's take a look at what the market monitor has to say. So yeah, I mean, on Wednesday I was thinking that we were about to bounce. Excuse me, the market was about to overtake the 21 day again, and we just got hit with the news, and yeah, it was kind of episodic in nature, and the market wasn't really expecting it. Technicals weren't expecting it, nobody was expecting it, and it was way worse than anybody expected. So we'll have to see. So I mean, basically everything went back into stage 4. We're at 81%, so that's pretty significant. That only happens during major lows in the market. Yeah, new lows to new highs is 0. We close at the low of the day. We've had back-to-back 5 to 6% days, which is pretty substantial. We are now 10% below the 21-day moving average, which if you go back in time, yeah, we never get that oversold this quickly. Yeah, even if you go back to the lows of 2022, the bear market, the lowest we got was about 6%. So we're sitting at about 10% below the 21 day. So yeah, if we go back to, let's say, COVID, let's look at the COVID, because now we got to change the analog, because it's not 2018 anymore. It's looking like a crash sort of an analog. So yeah, if we go to COVID, when we first declined early March, excuse me, we went here in February to 8.5%. And then we got as low as 20% below the 21-day moving average. Now, that was when the globe was about to shut down, the global sickness. We were about to print a lot of money. So, I mean, is that going to happen? I mean, we're seeing a lot of cracks because these tariffs are pretty substantial. So is it going to be a repeat of COVID? I mean, we don't really know at this present moment. It could, but you know, if we look over here on the right side, the anxiety index when the crash was just starting was more unexpected. So potentially, I mean, because it was unexpected, it led to a deeper correction. Whereas I think these tariffs were a little bit more expected than that. Uh, so potentially that reduces the amount that we're going to go down. Yeah, so let's continue with the market monitor. Yeah, put call. I mean, we got a 43 VIX. I mean, that's up there with some of the most, you know, panicky moments in the market. So, I mean, listen, we could gap down again tomorrow, or sorry, Monday. But I mean, the last 2 days, basically, I mean, you felt the pain, like at the end of the day. So 20% bearish, lower lows, less things in bearish combo. Stocks below the 45-day moving average, or sorry, Bollinger Band. Yeah, this is some serious selling. 400 stocks on Thursday and 486 down 5% or more on massive volume. And yeah, I was saying on Wednesday that, you know, it was looking like we could turn around, but now we you know, went back higher, and we're picking up momentum on the TD buy. We're back to, like, you know, almost 1,000, which is typically where you bounce. But in a crash situation, you know, if we go back to COVID, like if we go here back to COVID, I mean, it bottomed at about 2,000. So it's just, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens over the weekend, because I think a lot of people at the end of today, like if we go back to the market, a lot of people, I mean, you could just see it where a lot of people didn't want to hold over the weekend. I mean, I don't see it as like bad things could happen over the weekend. I mean, I guess we did just get Chinese retaliatory tariffs, so retaliatory tariffs could come, but you know, we could sign some deals. So, you know, it's kind of just a coin flip, and you just gotta wait it out and see what's going on. Yeah, some, like, people are talking about how, you know, Bitcoin is holding up. You know, if you look at that, and also, you know, GameStop is a Bitcoin, you know, play. MSTR is holding up, which is very interesting. Which tells me, like, potentially, I mean, but also interesting that gold is finally giving up the goose, but it's already had a big rally. You know, I'm just speculating here, but perhaps just has something to do with the dollar as yeah, it's just, I mean, well, the dollar's up today, so, you know, and let's look here. Yeah, the Japanese yen is rallying as well. So, you know, there's a lot of moving parts, but I think, you know, we're going to survive long term. And yeah, just some massive moves, some very interesting moves in the market. And yeah, hopefully you guys are staying safe out there. Hey, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. And yeah, have a great day.